Alright, what's going on, man? So I've been working in corporate for about a year now, and the level of growth and maturity that I've experienced is crazy, to be honest with you. So today I want to tell y'all the five main lessons that I learned while working in corporate. Alright, so we're just gonna get straight into it. So the first thing that I learned is accountability. Nobody's coming to save you. Your life is your responsibility. So when you're working in corporate, you're an adult now. Nobody's gonna hold you accountable. Nobody's gonna take blame for your doings. You can't make excuses, man. You gotta take full accountability. So say for instance you're late to work. You can't make excuses. You At the end of the day you showed up late for work. So you can't blame it on the person that was driving slow in front of you. You can't blame it on your parents. You can't blame it on your sister, your dog. Because you're the one that showed up late for work. And when you're working in corporate, they're not going to take that. They're not going to give you as much leeway as if you were working a retail job or anything like that. And, it depends on the manager, of course, but when you're working a 9 to 5, it's just more strict policies. So accountability is something that I definitely had to learn, because they're not going to allow me to make as many excuses, because they can replace you just like that when it comes to corporate jobs. All right. So being accountable and holding yourself accountable, that also makes you more respectable, because it shows that you're not going to make excuses and you're not going to, blame others for things that you could have avoided or things that you could have communicated. It just makes you also more of a man. It shows that you have confidence, and it shows that you're able to just, be a leader and take responsibility for your wrongdoings and admit that you were wrong. All right. So nobody's coming to save you. Take responsibility for your actions. All right. People will respect you more. All right. So the second thing, laptop went off. Structure. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Okay, I got that right. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So a year ago, I had no structure. I didn't know what a routine was. I would wake up. My job was about 10 minutes away from me, so I'd wake up about 30 minutes before I had to go to work. I'd take a quick shower, head to work, still somehow show up late. And, I work my shift. Once I get back home, I take a shower, watch TV, and go to sleep and do it all again. I had no structure, no routine. I wasn't reading. I wasn't going to the gym consistently, because my environment, one, wasn't influencing me to do those kind of things. And two, I didn't have to commute an hour away, and I just had that freedom to, kind of be late to work and be 5 minutes away so I could wake up whatever time I really wanted to. So there was no structure there. Working in corporate and also having to commute, it forces you to have a routine, because you can't wake up an hour before your shift and then commute an hour. It doesn't work like that. So you have to be able to have your morning routine, and then also be able to make it to work and, feel good. If you're not feeling good, if you didn't sleep good that last night, you're not going to want to go into work. And then you're going to be tempted to call out of work. You're going to be tempted to, I'm not feeling well. It's not going to work like that in corporate. So you have to establish a routine. You got to keep your mind sharp. You got to stay energized. All right. So structure. Man, this is the most important one in my opinion, because without routine, you're not growing, okay? When you don't have a routine and you're not, I love it. When you don't have habits that you're doing every day that are growing your mind, that are growing, making you stronger mentally and physically, you're not growing as a person, you're staying stagnant. So a year ago, I was staying stagnant because I wasn't doing anything to, educate myself. I wasn't doing anything to, physically better myself. I do it, once every couple days, but it wasn't a routine. It was spontaneous. All right, so structure, that's definitely something that has made my life 10 times better. I'm gonna figure this lighting out, man, because it's alright, but alright. Next thing, man, social skills. This one is huge. Soft skills will open more doors than degrees ever will. Being able to talk to people, it's a skill. That's why it's called social skills, man, because everyone isn't able to just, talk to people and just have a conversation that flows. And what people don't realize is that social skills will get you in so many different doors rather than what intelligence you actually have. If you're able to talk to people, if you're able to build rapport with people and just have small conversations, they will one, respect you. Two, they will like you more, which honestly, when it comes to people liking you, we're gonna get into that in another video, but people, they'll like being around you more. So therefore, it opens up more opportunity because people know how you are as a person. You're not closed off, and people don't, find you awkward, so they don't want to talk to you. People want to help you, and people also want to see what you have to provide for them, right? So social skills, you definitely need to be able to talk to people. You just get out the house more, man. Just go and talk to people. Me working in corporate, compared to my old jobs, I was talking to people that were my age, right? So I was kind of in the same social circle as I was in like high school. It's the same thing because you're around people that kind of think the same way that you do. Working in corporate, you're around a plethora of different energies. You're around, older people. You're around different cultures of people. All right, so another thing is professionalism. This still goes into the social skills. So you're able to, change up how you speak around different people. You're not going to be able to speak how you do to your friends the same way you do to your manager in a corporate job. See, when you're working in a job, as I said, such as retail or fast food, your manager is typically pretty cool. So you're able to use slang and you're able to just talk to them how you talk to a friend. But when it comes to corporate, you gotta switch it up. It's like, how you doing, sir? Nice to meet you. You gotta switch it up. Or you just gotta be more professional, man. And being in that setting, it forces you to know how to be more professional because every day you're around people that are speaking this kind of way. So if they come to you and they're like, how you doing? Nice to meet you. My name is, and they're calling you sir or ma'am, if there's any women watching this, you're not gonna wanna be like, hey, what's up, bro? What you mean, what's up, bro? Like, that's crazy. So, man, you gotta learn social skills. I know a lot of people are introverts, and it's okay to be an introvert, but it's different when you're an introvert who knows how to talk to people. See, I used to be an introvert that had no idea how to talk to people. I used to be nervous to order my food at Chipotle, bro. Like, I'd be scared to go down the line and be like, hey, I want this. I let them, like, they mess up my bowl, they put like a little bit of chicken. I'd be nervous to, be like, hey, can I get double chicken? It was crazy. And the biggest part of that, the reason that I used to be like that is because I didn't talk to people outside of social media and playing the game. And I may also make a video on that. But I wasn't good with talking to people that I didn't know, so I was just comfortable with people that I already knew. And if I don't know you, I don't even know how to talk to you. But working a 9-to-5 has definitely changed that because you're around people every single day. So how could you not talk to people? I go up to random people to say, hey, how you doing? And, smile, and then I see their face light up. So you gotta know how to talk to people, man. And if you know how to talk to people, you know how to network. That's what networking is. Networking typically starts from a small talk. Everybody dreads small talk because it's just like, where are we going with this conversation? But those conversations can lead a long way, all right? So social skills. Start talking to people, man. All right. Next thing. All right. Next thing, man. Style. Your appearance speaks before you do. So make sure it's saying the right thing. Man, even working in a 9 to 5, I still see people that they don't dress to impress. You know, I'm typically the one that's dressing more professional in my environment, and it's because I've grown to realize that people treat you the way that you're dressed. If you're dressed in a suit and a tie and some nice shoes, people are gonna call you sir more often than not, as long as you carry yourself with that type of energy. But if you're dressed in some Jordans and a t-shirt and jeans, which is fine depending on where you are, people aren't gonna call you sir. Or at least from what I experienced, that's not how it is. So you have to really dress. See, the way that I look at it is, I want to be rich one day, right? I want to be, in a nice house. I want to be in a nice car. Why would I not dress like someone who owns those kind of things? Why would I not wear suits, and why would I not wear nice dress shirts that fit me well? I want to carry myself with that masculine energy. I want to have that, that minimalistic look, and people respect you more when you dress like that, man. It's just something that I noticed. So my style has been developing since I started this job, to be honest. When I was working my old job, I was working as a server. I was dressing decent, but it's kind of uniform, so you can't really express yourself the way you want to. That's for most jobs. You're either wearing like an apron or you're wearing a shirt. You can't really work on your style, and your style at the job really doesn't matter. But when it comes to this type of setting, you're seeing so many different type of people, so you can see how they treat you when you dress different ways. People tell me all the time, man, you're like the best dressed in this company. You're the best dressed on the team. I'm like, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, man, style, you gotta, yeah, you gotta. All right, man. Last thing, and this is an important one too. They're all important, but this one is definitely important. Financial management. Making money is a skill. Maintaining it is a discipline. Man, when you start, okay, I'm gonna give my personal experience. When I started making that corporate money, man, I was so excited, because it's like I was never making that type of money before. Before, I was working like 3 different jobs trying to make money however I can. So when I was able to make all of that money combined from one job, I was spending frivolously, and I wasn't budgeting, and that led me to, not going broke, but I was spending my checks within the week that I got it, man. I was just spending it on food. I was spending it on just a whole bunch of dumb stuff. I'm not even gonna get into it, but you need to learn how to budget, especially when you start making more money. I know y'all have heard this before. When you start making more money, don't spend more money, save more money. You have to have a budget. It doesn't have to be a hefty spreadsheet. Personally, that's what I use, and it works for me. But just manage your money. Know where your money is going. You need to track every expense. People say don't track it to the penny, but track it to the penny. I'm a heavy believer in tracking your finances, because when you know where every dollar is going, you're creating that routine. And once you create that routine and you got an emergency fund set up, you know exactly where every dollar is going. You have a specific amount that you send, or that you use for groceries, that you use for gas. You're gonna be good. And a couple years down the line, you're gonna have that emergency fund built up. So, if something crazy happens, cars break down, man, I've been through so much of that. When the car break down or something like that, you like, all right, whatever, it's cool, I got it. You're not stressing, right? So you just gotta be smart with your money. And most people, when they start making a good amount of money, they just don't know how to maintain it, and they don't know, where to put it, or just how to use it wisely, right? When you're making, man, when you making, say you making like 50K a month. All right, not 50K a month, like 50K a year. You gotta make sure you're able to live off of half of that if you can, to be honest. Cause this is something that I'm working on myself. You don't wanna try to live off that 50K. You wanna act as if you only have 25K to live off of, and you're saving and investing most of that, the rest of the 25K. Cause especially us at a young age, I'm assuming that most of my viewers are gonna be between the ages of 18 and 25. We need to start investing for our future now. When we start doing that, it becomes easier in the future. Like we already have, made that fun so that when we're like 30, even 25, man, we got that emergency fund saved up. We got savings for an apartment or whatever you want to save up for. You're investing in your 401k or your Roth IRA. So when you're older, you don't got to worry about that because you already started years ago. Do the hard things now so that they come easier in the future. So invest in yourself. You got to plan for the future. You got to plan for retirement. It's crazy to think about it at 20 years old, but you got to plan for retirement, man. So those were the five main lessons that I've learned from working corporate or 9 to 5, however you want to put it. But those things have definitely changed my life. And honestly, I feel like all young adults should have the experience of working a 9 to 5. Because I know it's stressful. I know it's, it's annoying sometimes. But there's skills, as I told you today, there's skills and there's habits that you build that over time, when you do start a business or you do whatever you want to do, you already have those soft skills. Like you're able to communicate, you're able to, reduce stress, you're able to have good time management. You already have those built because you've already been through the 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 is a daily thing. So you're building these habits daily, right? So yeah, man. I hope y'all got some value from this. Hey, let me know down in the comments how you feel about your 9 to 5. All right, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.